Good morning. Hey, hey, say hi to me as you're hopping on. Say hi, say hi. Hey, Krista. Hey, Heidi. Let me invite my team. Hey, Leah, how are you? Hey, Chelsea. Thank you, Krista. Okay, so how is everyone? Anyone that is brand new to me, let me know that you're watching for the first time and also where you're watching from. So how's everyone going? How's everyone doing today? I've been at it since 8 a.m. I've had private clients this morning. I'm about to go record an episode of the podcast. I'm actually going to be recording 2 episodes of the podcast. I'm recording one on synchronicity today, and I am recording another one on what they won't tell you about living a purpose-led life. So I'm super excited to get both of those episodes released. One will be coming out this week and one will be coming out next week. So stay tuned for that. I don't know what is happening with the numbers. They're just jumping all over the place. No one's new. Everyone, this is no one's first time catching me live. So I wanted to hop on because I have been, I've had like the most incredible last couple of weeks, and I haven't really had an opportunity to live stream much, and I wanted to kind of jump on and talk about some of the things that have been happening for me, and just how amazing synchronicity is, and how in this new timeline, if you simply just follow the synchronicities, magic happens in your life. And I think it's always been that way at some level, but I mean, I'm talking like instant magic and manifestation when you just pay attention and you just follow the synchronicities. So, I guess I'll start with, you know, we launched these really incredible VIP packages inside of our Healy business, and had a global promotion for Healy. And so for 2 weeks, really, I was burning the candle at both ends. And for me, that's really not a good thing, because I'm a projector in human design. I really need to like be resting at some point in the day and discharging my sacral energy. And then I was working with the incredible Taryn Lee, like in very close proximity. And so she's a like true generator. And I was like really taking all of that sacral energy and amplifying it, but not taking the time to properly discharge it. And so as a result of that, like really came close to like completely burning myself out over this 2-week period. And so we decided to take a holiday once it was all said and done. You can bring the juice over here, thanks. So we decided to take a holiday once it was all said and done. And so we booked this like really incredible, I'll just take this and then you can put that on the table. Okay, terima kasih. Little watermelon juice. So we booked this holiday. We went down to this resort that was like really well recommended. It's called Six Senses here in, it's in Uluwatu actually, which is like an hour from here. And we went to have like this amazing holiday. And this resort is completely luxury. We booked the presidential suite, which was beautiful. I mean, it was so gorgeous. And we spent a ridiculous amount of money over like 5 days there. And the first day I had so much anxiety, I could barely function. So didn't enjoy it at all the first day. I really didn't enjoy it the whole time. Like I just did not enjoy the trip. And we were having a lot of difficulty booking the trip. So parts of Indonesia are going back down into lockdown. And so, you know, we had like all these plans for like places that we wanted to go. We knew we wanted to do this holiday because we've been working so hard, but we were having difficulty. So every place that we would find would be booked. And literally like, had we just stopped and listened to the universe, like the universe was saying no. Like the universe was like, you're not meant to be going anywhere right now. But because we'd been working so hard and because like I really, you know, I wanted to spend time with my kids, I really wanted to have a holiday, we sort of forced the point and pushed the point and found a place that was open. And, you know, it was fine. Like it was, you know, the food was average, the place was beautiful, but it was quite cold. It was literally like the apocalypse because nobody was there. We were the only ones there. Really, there was like maybe 3 other groups of people there, and this whole resort was just empty. And we had some good moments, and we ended up doing some filming, and we got some good footage, and you know, we got some good content. It was fine. It really was fine. But for the amount of money that we spent, like you don't want to spend that amount of money and have something just be fine, right? So I was a little bit disappointed in that, but at the same time was like, well, I got to recharge. So I had a reading with a woman named Grace Kavanaugh booked for several weeks. And I typically don't go see psychic readers or channels or anything like that, but I felt really called to see this woman. And so it was booked for the Tuesday. So I think we got there on Sunday, and like Sunday night was not good. Monday was not good. I was like, had really bad anxiety. Wasn't doing well at all on Monday. And I think that was just that really had to do with me needing to decompress and like having been running at that like really anxious, anxiety ridden place. Not really anxiety, but just I'd been going and not resting. And so it was like, then that was just like my nervous system having to reset. So I think that's what that day was about. And so then I had this reading on Tuesday with this woman in the morning, and it was just incredible. Like, it really was really, really incredible. It was a 90-minute session, and had a lot of confirmation of some stuff that I had already known and had been feeling and had been thinking. And so I was really happy that I had the ability to like have that session with her, and that sort of turned the trip around, and I started feeling better, like just in time to go home the next day. So, and that's really interesting. Like, I'm really waiting to see what all comes through from that. And if, for some of you that maybe have been following me if you're in my Telegram channel, the Wealth Witch channel, you'll know that, like I said, she had given me quite a bit of information about carrying the blue ray and the golden ray in this lifetime, and that a big part of my purpose is to integrate those two rays here on this planet. And I got a lot of downloads about the blue and gold ray, you know, really being our divine wealth blueprint, and that it is the integration of that that allows us to live a truly wealthy and abundant life here on this planet. So it was no coincidence that the week before I had this reading, or a week and a half before I had this reading, I had gotten guidance that I needed to run my new wealth paradigm transmissions again. And I hadn't really known why. I mean, and I just do usually, when I get the guidance, I just do the thing, right? Like, I just do the thing. I don't worry about, you know, I'm at the point now where, you know, my mind or my ego might be like, but why? Or what are we going to talk about, or what's going to come through? But I know enough now at this point that I just trust. And so I had put the offer out, and it was in, and was basically told that it needed to be application only, because the energy and the frequency and the vibration that was going to be coming through these transmissions and these activations was going to be really powerful. Not everyone was going to be able to handle it. Not everyone was ready for it. But it really was about stepping into really embodying that divine wealth blueprint in the new timeline. And so I knew it was going to be that, but that was really all the information I had. So I have this session with Grace, and she really activates this, she really activates in me the ownership of the blue ray and the golden ray, and like, and that I'm really here to integrate that. And I started getting all of these downloads about the integration of that being our divine wealth blueprint, and really being the thing that allows us to step fully into our abundance, and our divine birthright, which is to be wealthy in all areas of our life. So you've heard me say this a million times, but like, to be wealthy literally means, the word wealthy means two things, well and healthy. So to be wealthy simply means to be well and healthy in all areas of our life, right? And financially is definitely a part of that, but you know, we're healthy and we're wealthy in relationships and in finances and in friendships and you know, all kinds of things, right? So I had put out the applications, and I had this tremendous response, right? Like, I actually was quite blown away at how many people had applied when, you know, and again, this is what resonance is all about. And this is synchronicity, right? So whatever this was, energetically in me, even though I wasn't 100% clear on it, the people that were receiving the message from me or were feeling the energy, they were feeling it, and they knew. So I've had an incredible, tremendous response, and had one before I even fully realized what this was going to be about, right? The interesting thing is, I haven't even really promoted it since I had the realization that these transmissions are going to be about this integration of the golden ray and the blue ray. So I guess the first thing that I'll say to you guys is, it starts tonight. So the New Wealth Paradigm transmissions, they start this evening. First transmission is tonight. It's 4 weeks of transmissions. It's $444. There is a payment plan available, but it is application based. And by filling out the application, you essentially are allowing me to test into your energetic field and let you know whether or not at this time these transmissions are right or appropriate for you. Again, like, I just know beyond a shadow of a doubt that, and now more than ever, because there's a whole second part of this story that I'm going to tell you that's going to blow your mind. But now more than ever, I have like this full realization that, you know, these transmissions are going to rock people's worlds. And this is going to be cultivation of a whole new level of acquiring and accumulating wealth and realizing the abundance that's our divine birthright by being beings on this planet, right? So So here is the application. If you happen to be watching this tomorrow, that's okay. You can join the transmissions at any time. They're going to be just as powerful watched on the replay. So, you know, if you're watching this in a couple of weeks, whenever you're watching this, you can still apply, you can still participate. You literally just come into the container and watch them one at a time, a week apart. So I'm going to give you guys the link if you want to apply. And I'm going to tell you the rest of the story because it gets crazy from here. So there's the link. So I have the session with her. All this stuff starts dropping in. We come home on Wednesday. We stay home Wednesday night. Thursday we work. Thursday night we stay here, and then Friday morning we work, and then Friday we leave to go to a like private concert weekend with Michael Franti in Ubud. So this was another thing so this is sort of where like all the crazy synchronicities begin, right? And so I hadn't listened very well to the universe the week before. And I was tired. Like I actually was tired from that holiday. I was exhausted from that holiday. I actually didn't want to go on up to Ubud, but something in me was like, nope, you have to go. You have to go. This is going to be incredible. This is going to be incredible. So we go to, well, and how this whole thing came about was crazy too. So my friend Laura, who lives here, her and her boyfriend were just like walking down the street in Ubud, and they saw this resort called Soulshine, and they just wandered in, and they wander in, and Michael Franti and his wife are sitting there. They own the resort, and got stuck here during coronavirus. So they own the resort. She strikes up a conversation with Michael Franti's wife. She's like, oh yeah, by the way, like next weekend we've got, you know, or 2 weekends from now, because this was a couple of weeks prior to it happening, we've got, you know, Michael's doing a private concert here, and then he's doing a like live stream, a world live stream on Sunday morning, like a concert, a stay-at-home concert. And so Laura was just like, something in her was like, I should message Leah and Sean. And so she messages Sean, and she's like, hey, do you guys know who Michael Franti is? And Sean's just like, of course we do. So we are from Salt Lake City, Utah, and Salt Lake City, Utah has a huge like reggae love and people that follow reggae music and love reggae music. And Michael Franti was part of a group called Spearhead. And so Spearhead, from the time I was young, I was seeing Spearhead from the time I was like 12, going to Spearhead concerts, or 13 or 14 maybe, but really young, going to Spearhead concerts. And then Michael Franti has this huge following in Utah because he would come and play there every single year. So it's like all the reggae bands, when they would go on tour, always came through Salt Lake City, Utah. So Sean was like, oh my God, we love Michael Franti. Yes, of course we want to come. That's crazy. And so it just like this whole alignment happens around. So the synchronicity there was like, you know, Laura just stumbles into this resort. She finds she runs into Michael and his wife, has a conversation with them, messages Sean. So we all plan to go to this trip to Ubud. So again, I'm tired. I don't really want to go, but I'm like, yep, I need to go. There was something in me that knew that I needed to go. And so, you know, and I'm just exhausted, really. And so Friday, we get there and we pull up, and it's like really weird because it's like way set back from the road. And so it looks like these metal sheds from the road. And I was like, oh my God, where are we? Like, what are we going to? It's this teeny little sign on the road, right? You literally would miss it if you weren't looking for it. And so we start walking down this, you can't even drive into the resort. You have to walk down this path into the resort. And as we're walking down this path, I'm like, I start getting like these feelings of oh, like I'm energetically, my vibration is raising literally just walking down the path to this resort. And I'm like, this is crazy. Like, what's going on here? And it's like this beautiful, like cobblestone path. And it's got these words, and it's just like, let your soul be happy. And like, there's these words like written into this cobblestone path. And like, we walk in, and there's this river running down next to the path, and like the gardens were just beautiful. This used to be a permaculture farm where the resort is now. So that just the grounds and everything's just stunning and beautiful. So we keep walking and we keep walking, and we finally walk into the resort, and I'm just like, wow, like this feeling, this energy just lifts for me. This energy, this heavy energy that I'd been carrying for like a week, just really lifted. And I was like, and I felt rejuvenated. I felt refreshed. And so the first night was a private dinner and a concert. And so we, have the dinner, we have a great time. The concert's amazing. Like, it's just amazing. And so everything's going great. And then a little bit of friction happened between my husband and I that night. And I'm not even really quite sure what that was about. I don't know if it was like leftover energetic stuff from the trip before, or like what was going on, but we had a really like difficult night, like after the concert night, and then into the next morning. But then the next morning, I kind of went out on my own with my friend Taryn, and we did some shopping, and we actually had a lot of fun shopping. And then there was a pool party that afternoon, and then I just kind of reconnected with my husband at the pool party. We had a great time that evening, and then the next morning, Sunday morning, was the like live streamed concert where he was streaming, this concert to the world. So I don't know if you know Michael Franti. If you don't, definitely go follow him. Like, he's just incredible, like such an uplifting human being. He and his wife are genuinely like two of the nicest, highest vibrational people that I have met in, I don't even know how long, like just incredible people. But his message and the lyrics to his songs are just so uplifting. And my husband and I were laughing because we were like, normally when people have like amazing uplifting lyrics, or like they're that high vibrational people, and like they're putting out music, like the music sucks. Like, it's just really like, usually that kind of music sucks. And his music is amazing. And so we just had like such an incredible time. Saturday though, at the pool party, we're sitting there talking to Michael, and he's like, hey, have you ever heard of the Electric Lady? And we're like, no. And he's like, do you want to go see her tomorrow? She's a healer here on the outskirts of Abood. And we're like, well, yeah, of course we want to go see her, Like, we just knew. Both my husband and I were like, well, yeah, of course. And he's like, okay, let me message her. She's got 2 appointments tomorrow. You can go see her. And I was like, okay, well, we want to go with 3. And he was like, oh yeah, okay. So, because Taryn was there with us. Taryn had gone on the holiday with us. And so that was just Saturday. We didn't even know what to expect. Like, we didn't ask anything about it. Nobody told us anything. He was like, she's just amazing. Like, you got to go see her. We're like, all right. So the concert happens in the morning. We have this great breakfast. My son Josiah came up for the concert. We like sent a car for him to come up because I thought he'd really enjoy seeing the live music. He's a musician. And so we just had like a lovely morning, and then we had to rush out because we had to get to this session with the Electric Lady. So here's where all of the stuff gets really, really incredible. I mean, all of it was incredible, and all the synchronicities, and then just how we ended up there, and how, like, by this time I'm feeling amazing. Like, I'm like, oh my God, I love this place. Like, I want this to be my second home. Like, I was telling Sarah, who's Michael's wife, I'm like, this is gonna be our Abood home. Like, we love it so much. We're actually going up there on Sunday because they're doing this like Sunday fun day family with like bouncy castles and water slides and all this stuff for the kids. And so we're gonna take Jack up there this Sunday. But they're just incredible, incredible people. And it was, yeah, so great, so great, so great. So we get in the car and we head out to go see the Electric Lady. And if you follow me, I've been having back issues, and I've been battling this hormone stuff for several years, and just a lot, like thyroid stuff. And so I'm always game to go see a new healer. Like, it doesn't take much convincing or twisting of the arm if somebody recommends a healer to go check them out. So we get there. There was a mistake. She was like, only had 2 of us down, and we were like, nope, 3. And she's like, yeah, of course, I'll take all 3. And so Taryn went first. And so Sean and I were just kind of sitting there like in the waiting room, and of this little like temple. She was like built this little like temple. And so we were sitting there just kind of chilling, waiting. And so Taryn's in there about 30 minutes. She walks out and she's like speechless. Like, she can't even explain to us what she just experienced. She's like, And I'm like, what happened? Like, what's going on? And she's just like, I'm just going to let you experience it. She goes and sits down in this hammock, and like, she puts her hands on her heart in this hammock, and she just like is gone, right? Like energetically, she just goes in internally or externally or wherever she went. I'm not exactly even sure. But so then it was my turn. And so I'm like, oh my God, like, what am I going to experience? Because she had, I mean, she looked so peaceful, but she just literally couldn't speak. And I was like, this is crazy. So I go in, and it's this little Indonesian lady. I'm going to post a picture of her I'll post a picture of her in my Telegram channel probably. So if you're not following the Telegram channel, go follow the Wealth Witch Telegram channel on, yeah, because it's just, it's easier to share stuff in there. I'll give you guys the link if you don't have it. Just my free Telegram channel where I share the things. Let's see. Why won't it let me get the link? So she's just this little lady, right? Probably my age, honestly. Maybe even a little younger. Yeah, probably my age. And so I walk in, and she's just like so sweet and so cute, you know, and like, she's like, okay, take your dress off. I'm like, okay. So I take my dress off, and I just had on like a little tube top dress. And so I just had on my underwear and a strapless bra, and she's like, okay, what's wrong with you? What are you here for? You know? And I'm like, well, my back's been going out, and you know, I've definitely got some hormone things. Like, so that's really what I'd like you to focus on. And she's like, okay, what about emotionally? And I'm like, I feel pretty good emotionally, but you know, definitely like whatever, I'm open to whatever comes up. She's like, okay. So she's like, lay down on the table. She's like, lay down face first, you know, on your stomach, on my stomach. And so I lay down on my stomach, and she puts this oil all over my body, and then she like makes my feet wet. Like, she takes a rag and she wets my feet down, and then she starts rubbing my body. And she starts with my knee, and my right knee, which is really interesting. So my back goes out on the left, which is causing this weakness in my right knee. I didn't actually say anything to her about the right knee, but she starts on the right knee, and it's literally like electricity. Like, it feels like she's like a giant TENS machine, or like she's a human Healy, like, but it's like 10 times stronger than microcurrent. Like, and I like, you know, I mean, it's that thing where like you look to see what's going on, to see if she's got some kind of, you know, and you look at the floor, and you like look to see if she's got something, and she has nothing. It's literally her fingertips. Like, she's putting her fingers on you, and it's just a regular massage table. It's just a tile floor. She's just a little old, not old, a little youngish, middle-aged, I guess, what we consider to be middle-aged, Indonesian woman that's wearing a sarong and a t-shirt. Like, there's nothing there that's like conducting energy, right? So she puts, and when she hits the weak spot in your body, I mean, it's like so strong, the electricity. And it's not actually electricity. So that's the crazy thing. They've actually come and tested her to see if it's electricity, and it's not electricity. She's literally moving chi in your body. So like, she's moving chi through your body. It's nuts. It's like, I've seen so many healers, I've seen so many healers, guys. Like, I've never experienced anything like this before. And so, you know, she's touching that part of your body, and when she gets to the weak parts, it's literally like the current is so strong, and it hurts. Like, it hurts. Like, it's moving the stuck and stagnant energy, right? And then like, she'll be touching one side of your body, and the other muscle on the other side will like start jumping. So she goes on my whole body. She does my back. Really interestingly, like my lower back, the current wasn't that strong, but when she got to my middle back, like this middle part of my back, it was so strong. So you know, and then So then she's like doing my arms, and she gets to here, and my shoulder just starts like, I mean, it was hurting so bad. The current was so strong. Like my whole arm was shaking like this. And she was like, you didn't tell me about anything in your shoulders. What's going on in your shoulders? Well, I had frozen shoulder. And I have bone spurs in this side. No, yeah, this side has bone spurs. And I had frozen shoulder in both shoulders, and I couldn't move them above here just like 2 years ago. And she's like, so she's like doing the shoulders, and she's like, oh yeah, she's like, you know, when your immune system gets low, this can come back. She's like, so we need to heal it. But I hadn't told her anything about the shoulders, and they're just going crazy. And then when she touches the other part of your body that doesn't need healing, nothing happens. Like you can feel a teeny bit of current, but nothing, it's just like nothing. So she like goes down in, she's like checking my heart, nothing happens in my heart. So she has me flip over after she does the back. She has me flip over, and there's like weakness in my ankles, weakness in my knees, my back, my mid back. Then she has me flip over. Then she's checking my heart. She's doing my shoulders. And then she like moves up to my jaw. I have really bad TMJ. Didn't say anything to her about that either. So it's like totally throbbing here. And then she goes up behind my ears and into my head right here. And it's like throbbing. And she's like, oh, you had vertigo? So I don't ever talk about having vertigo. I had vertigo like 8 years ago. And she's like, oh, you had vertigo? I'm like, and she's like, again, like when your immune system is weakened, this can come back. So we're going to heal it. I mean, it just was mind blowing. So I mean, this in and of itself, had I walked out at this point, I would have just been like, I've never experienced anything like this. Like this woman is a true, like she's an X-Man, right? Like she is a superhuman, like, and at this point I was getting a little bit emotional that I was like, there is actually a human on this planet that has this kind of gift. I mean, it was incredible. So then she starts doing my third eye, and she starts like putting her hands up here, and all of a sudden I'm seeing these like white flashes of light coming out, like these butterfly flashes of light. So Sean and Taryn both had this whole thing. Theirs were very different. Theirs were more emotional, more heart work, heart-centered work. But she did the third eye on all of us, and we all saw the same thing. It was just like these, like, I don't even know how to explain it, but these like pillows of light coming out of our third eye, this white, this beautiful, brilliant white light. I mean, she's literally a human Healy. It's so nuts, like it was so crazy. So she's, you know, doing the third eye, and I just like, it really starts dropping in for me. Like this stuff that Grace had said, this stuff about the New Wealth Paradigm transmissions, this, like grounding. It was just like these messages coming through about grounding and anchoring in the blue ray and the gold ray. So this information starts coming to me while she's doing my third eye. Then she's done with like the gentle massage, and she like takes her finger, I don't know what finger it was, but she takes one finger and she sticks it right in my third eye, and it was like a lightning bolt, you guys. Like it was painful, like it hurt. But it was like this current into into my pineal gland and into my third eye. And it was just like this explosion of light inside my head. It hurt. But then when it was over, it was like, I can't explain to you like how clearly I feel like I see now. And it's not like seeing with the eyes. It's just everything is so open. And I just, you know, I mean, I was just filled with gratitude. And then she like does a prayer, like she prays over you and calls on Saraswati. And it was this really beautiful like ending of the ceremony. And I mean, I just was talking to her like, when can I come back? Like how frequently can I come back? I mean, she's literally only like 40 minutes from my house, which is so crazy that we have this like incredible human being that's only 40 minutes from my house. I'm gonna go back to her next week. Like we all were just like, oh my God, this is so nuts. So I walk out, and Sean's just like, and I'm just dazed. Like I literally couldn't speak. I didn't have words. I did not have words to explain the experience that I had just had. And Sean's just like, how was it? And he's just looking at me, and he's looking at Taryn, and he's just like, what is going on? You know, and I'm like, I literally, you know, and she's like put, what's it called? something, like she's put the clay on our forehead and a flower in our ear, and I just like, I literally had tears in my eyes. I was just like so overwhelmed with gratitude and like amazement, and I was like, I couldn't even talk to him. Like I literally I could not form words. And so then I sat down, and Taryn was still just like over there, like in her like very, very peaceful state in the hammock. And so then I just laid down and waited for Sean to come out, and like literally the same thing. Sean comes out, and we're all like, he's just speechless. We're just like, you know, like, none of us, it took going and eating, like we had to go eat this giant Mexican food meal. Like we could not get grounded. We could not get back in our bodies. We were so just like, but not in a bad way, just in a like, it was amazing. It was amazing. And so that night when I went to bed, so we all just had an incredible experience. Then we finally were able to talk about it in the car. We got back to the Fronties, and like, they were just like, as soon as we walked in, they're just like, tell us, like, how was it? You know, and we're just like, oh my God, we can't, like, we don't have words. It's so amazing. They're like, we know. Like, they love her. And it just was really incredible. And so then we left and we came home, and that night I went to sleep. And while I was sleeping, and Brian Swan, I don't know if he's on, but he just scrolled by. And so Brian's telling us about his experience. He was also there. And we were just all talking about like how incredible this woman is, and like how mind-blowing this experience was. So several of the people that were there had been to see her, and so we all kind of, you know, shared some of our experience. But it's really something that like, as much like I'm trying to explain it to you right now, but it's something that you cannot imagine or believe exists until you experience it yourself. Like that's, I guess, the thing that I would say. Yeah, like pure magic, pure magic. And so I came home that night and I was exhausted, like so tired. I like crawled myself into bed at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and just laid in bed for the rest of the day. I think I fell asleep at 8 o'clock. I slept for 10 hours. But as I was going to sleep, I was again seeing this grounding of the blue ray and the golden ray, and this anchoring in to this dimension, the integration of the blue and gold ray. And it was so clear to me, it was so clear to me how important this New Wealth Paradigm Transmissions is. And you guys, I still have no idea what's gonna come through. I have no idea what's gonna come through tonight. But I know like this work is huge. Like it's big, it's huge, it's immense. And I'm so excited to share it. And I'm so excited to, you know, for the magic of both, Grace Kavanaugh and the Electric Lady, and you know, this gift that I've been given to share with you, and I'm so thankful for these synchronicities and these people that show up in my life that, you know, enable me to actually step more into my purpose and to share my gifts in a way that's meaningful, but also in a way that is actually going to create enormous impact. So if this story calls to you, if there's something in this that you're like, I need to know what this is, I need to have a part of this, definitely fill out the application. I'd love to have you join me in the New Wealth Paradigm Transmissions if it's right for you. And again, like, it is so clear to me this isn't for everyone. You've got to be energetically in a space where you can handle these transmissions. And so that's why I'm asking people to apply, and that's why I'm testing into the energy to make sure that it's appropriate for you. So it starts tonight. Tonight is the first transmission at 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. Let's see, what is it? 9 p.m. Bali time. it is happening. So you've still got time to apply. And again, if you are watching this, you know, tomorrow or next week or 2 weeks from now, and it's calling to you, you still have an ability to apply and participate. We're going to, these transmissions will be just as powerful. I mean, definitely join the live if you can, right? But these transmissions will be just as powerful watching them on a replay. And so you can apply at any time and join me in this container. So that's it. I just wanted to get on and share my story of synchronicity. And you know, I think that for me, it's just this incredible reminder to keep listening and to keep paying attention and to look for the signs and to look for the synchronicities and to acknowledge them when they happen, because they're so powerful in our life. And someone just said, like, I look totally different. And I actually, like, the last couple of days I've been on different group calls, and I'm like, it's crazy to me. My eyes are so much clearer. There's just something changed, right? And so I'm excited to share that in more of a energy activation way with everyone that joins me in the New Wealth Paradigm transmissions. So I hope to see applications from you. I know that many of you that are watching have already applied and have already been accepted into the container. So I will see all of you this evening. And for everyone else, like, just remember, it's your divine birthright to be wealthy in all areas of your life. And you're so worthy and you're so deserving of that. So have an amazing rest of your day, morning, evening, wherever you are in the world as you are watching this live stream or you are watching the replay. And yeah, there's a link there to the application, which will tell you a little bit more about the transmissions, but it's 4 weeks, a transmission a week. And it's $444. There's a payment plan available, but that's kind of the information on the transmissions. There's the link again. That's it. So have an epic rest of your day. Mwah.